Hello everybody. Today I thought I'd take a moment to show you how we can cook in a little Bluetooth using the inverter that we've installed under the hood. This inverter that we've put in is 350 watts, and all we did was Velcro it down to the fuse box here. And as you can see, I've already hooked up the positive, the red, to the red. I hooked up this red cable here that comes off the inverter to the positive terminal, the red terminal on the car's battery, or the van's battery. And I hooked up the black to the black. I've also plugged in a 120 volt extension cord, which I've run to the back of the van, and I've plugged in a rice cooker into that unit. Right now I have everything off, and what we're going to do is we're going to start the van up so that the alternator will be generating, the alternator over here, will be generating electricity that will go into this battery unit, because we're going to be pulling some of that power from the battery to convert it to 120 volts or 115 volts to run our rice cooker, which requires roughly 300 watts. This particular inverter is 350 watts, so it should be able to handle that rice cooker at 300 watts with no problem. We'll go ahead and find out, so hang on for a moment and start up the van so that we get some power going. We'll turn on the unit, and then we'll go ahead and cook the rice. Okay, so here we are inside little Bluetooth, and I'm just going to put my key in there into the ignition, and just start it up like normal. And as you can see, everything's pretty much normal. I'm going to come around now. You can see, even though we have everything plugged in, it's still not on. I have to hit the on button here, and the power light comes on. At this time, we are producing 110 volt output, and we'll follow this line that I've run here. I just ran it along the top here and through the middle door to the back. This is a temporary setup. Eventually, what I may do is go ahead and run a power line, all the way from the back of the vehicle up through to the hood area, up to the power inverter, so we can cook without having to open up the car and park and do all this. So we'll actually be able to cook while we're driving. Okay, we're at the back of the vehicle right now, and you can see that, I don't know if you can see the light here, it's on for warm, but we don't want it on warm, we want it on cook, so I just flipped the switch, and you can see the cook light is coming on, and it shows that this is cooking. And this rice should take approximately 15 to 20 minutes to cook, so I'll be coming back here to check on it. You can see it's got rice and water already in it. And I'll let it run for about 15-20 minutes. This auto shuts off. Right now I'm not driving, so I'm actually kind of wasting gas. We're basically cooking with gasoline. But when I have this fully rigged, if I drill the hole under here and bring the line up underneath, I can actually cook while I'm driving, which means we're not wasting energy. While we're driving the car somewhere, we could be cooking food. But you can see that the rice cooker is indeed on and cooking. So we'll check on it, and I'll let you know what happens. While we're waiting for the rice to cook, I thought I'd show off a solar cooking system that I'm testing out. Basically, we used a window shade, and I folded it into the shape here. And I have a dark colored pot with a lid on it. And I have a thermometer to show the temperature. Right now we got the temperature inside there up to 160 degrees Fahrenheit or so. I'm trying to see if we can get it up all the way up to 190 or higher, or maybe 200, enough to cook food. Right now I guess it'd be good enough to warm up food to eat. I was reading up on how to do these things, and they recommend actually putting this pot inside one of those oven bags to hold the heat. So right now I'm doing it without the oven bag, and it's only hitting 160 degrees, but it's only been out here, I think maybe about 15-20 minutes. We'll see what happens, and then maybe I'll do another test later with the the oven bag and see if we can get the temperature even higher. I also wanted to show you, it's approximately 12:30 in the afternoon right now, and it is a somewhat cloudy day, so I'm not going to point right at the sun here, but the sun is almost directly overhead, but occasionally it goes behind the clouds, so we might not be getting the best heat, but for the most part it's staying sunny. So this is just a test to see on a typical day whether or not this thing will actually cook. It looks like the temperature is working its way up past, it's about 160 still, maybe working towards 170. We'll see what happens here. I'll check on it later. As you can see, the temperature has risen inside there. It's almost at 170 degrees Fahrenheit. So it is getting hotter. I'm definitely going to try it with the oven baking bag to try to make it hotter. See if we can't get it to like over 220 degrees. I think you require like 220 degrees to start cooking food. I'll double check that and let you know. For now though, it is hot enough that I think I can try to heat up some hamburgers that we had cooked on the grill the other day. So what I'm going to do is take this lid off for now. She'll cool it down a little bit. Place in my little cooking top that I've made. Actually it's a pot holder thingy. I'm just going to put this here. Maybe not. Maybe I'll just put the burgers on it. Just put the burgers in the bag and heat it up. That might be the easiest way to go. So I'm just going to put the burgers in here. They're actually kind of ice cold because they've been put in the refrigerator from last night. But I'm going to try to heat this up in here and see how this does. Let's just put the meat in there. Put the lid back on. Set our little guy here. And maybe adjust for the sun. Yeah. Okay. And we'll come back and check on it in a few. Hopefully the burgers will be nice and warm when I'm ready, when the rice cooker's done. And I can have a nice little lunch. Okay, it's been about 10 minutes or so, and you can see our little Blues engine is still running just fine. The inverter still seems to be working fine. And let's go check on the rice itself. Our rice cooker is still on. You can see the light there, the little red light on cook. And we can see that there's now condensation on top. So the water inside is heating enough that it's cooking the rice. And I'm guessing it should be done in about 10-15 more minutes. While we're waiting for the rice to cook, I thought I'd take a moment to update on what's happening back here with the solar cooker. And I don't know if you can see on the camera here, but the temperature has dropped down to about 135 degrees inside our cooker. And I guess that's to be expected, as the hamburger patties that I put in there were cold. They weren't frozen, but they came out of the refrigerator, so they're cold and have started to cool down the interior. I don't know if you can see here also, the sun is being blocked right now. I don't know if you can see up there. The sun is being blocked, so we're losing some energy here for cooking. And I don't know if this is actually going to work or not, but it is at least 130 degrees in there right now. We'll come back and check on it again every so often, and I'll let you know what happens. Alrighty, as you can see, the rice cooker popped back up to warm mode because it is indeed done, and my rice looks perfect. So I'll be having lunch now. Let's go check on the hamburger meat. It actually has been like 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes. I meant to go away for only like 15-20 minutes and check on it, but then I got caught up in some YouTube drama. So lesson learned, when you're cooking, probably don't log on to the YouTube and follow some drama on there, because you end up burning your food. But in this case, it doesn't burn. It pretty much just goes to warm mode, and it's been sitting here on warm. I'm going to go ahead and shut the car off and take the food inside and maybe check up on the hamburger and see how that's doing. Now that we're done cooking, all we have to do is just turn the car off. So, you know, I say we're cooking with inverter, but actually we're cooking with gasoline. The gasoline is what's powering everything. Go ahead and come on over here. And the inverter itself is still actually on. You know, the car doesn't have to be on for the inverter to be on, but we turn it on so that the battery can stay charged up while we're cooking. So go ahead and flip it off, unplug it, and disconnect the battery here. Disconnect the cable. I tuck it in out of the way here. What I plan to do in the future is run a wire, a plug wire out here, and probably run it underneath the vehicle and bring it all the way up to the rear of the vehicle and put it inside so that I can actually cook while I'm driving and we don't have to pop up the hood and do all the stuff that, I mean, you still have to pop up the hood to turn on an inverter, but we wouldn't have to set it up like we're doing right now. This is just a demo to show that you can indeed cook using your inverter, and it works just fine. I think it takes about the same amount of time as it does if I was, you know, cooking in the house, although it may be just slightly longer, maybe 10% longer. I'm not sure if that's, I'm not sure why that's occurring, other than the fact that this is 110 volts and not like 120. I don't know if that's making a difference in how fast the rice cooker works. But let's go check on the hamburger now and see what's happening with that. All right, the rice is cooked, and this is what the solar oven looks like, or the solar cooking system we set up looks like when I came back here. So I'm going to have to figure out how to set this up so it doesn't collapse, or just realize that you have to monitor it. You know, with it being collapsed like that, I'm sure it's not that hot. It's about 145 degrees in there. It does feel hot to the touch. And the meat actually feels very, very warm. Not just warm, but hot. Hot. So it was enough to warm up the food. It didn't get up as hot as I would like it to, but I'm thinking that if I get the oven bag for this thing, ooh, it's hot. Woo! You see it's starting to drop as I bring it down here. It's back down to 130 here, but we'll do another experiment with the solar cooking system to see if it actually can cook food. But I think I need to get it up to like I think it was like 185 degrees or so, or maybe 200 degrees to actually cook food. So we're gonna go ahead and try it with the oven bag and maybe some other stuff to contain the heat, because as you can see, the wind is blowing through it and cooling it down. But if you touch this pot, it is hot. So this particular cooking experiment remains to be finished.